A very good afternoon and a big hello to all the students, right? I hope you are all waiting and excited for the next class, huh? And hope you're enjoying back home, eating and learning, right? So, learning new technologies is very important while you're at home, right? Why? Because, mental activities and all the activities related to brain will make you lose some calories, right? So that you eat while home, okay? So I advise you to work hard and get used to the syntax and experiment a lot. Not only learning is going to help you, right? So it's basically not the learning but experimenting and trying new things like R&D things. So I was doing my R&D on I'll tell you two different things: COVID, data CSV file. I found the data file for COVID, and it was CSV file. After finding the COVID CSV file, I tried to do analytics here, data analytics for COVID-19, and what I found was the data set is not quite ready for analytics, right? So it is going to take me 2 or 3 days before I make the data set ready. I did many things, but it's going to take 2 or 3 days before the data set is ready, and you guys also are not aware of all the data wrangling and data munging techniques, and also you're not aware of all the techniques of data analytics. Maybe 2 3 4 classes it's going to take before I expose data analytics on COVID-19 before you guys, right? So you guys need to be patient and wait unless I complete and you also are ready, so that I can deliver this. I don't want to pitch bouncers at this stage, right? I don't want you guys to duck, right? So I want you guys to understand rather than study and memorize everything and cherish while watching videos is not my goal. So my main goal is you learning everything rather than memorizing them. What I recommend you doing, practice a lot and see how it goes, right? And the second thing I did was found Titanic dataset.csv. And you can also Google, and there is a Titanic.csv file on GitHub as well that you can download. Okay, right? Novel coronavirus, and here we go. We have Titanic.csv that we are going to do data analytics with. So I'll download this today. It contains the passenger class, the people who have survived, passenger ID, name, sex, age. So it's much better data set for starters. Starters can understand it quite well. And then I have downloaded many data sets, like one as that of Ebola, and the Spanish flu 1918 is also with me. So I'll be showing you everything. And while learning, I expect you also to do your best, right? Practice hard unless you become pros. All right, so here you can see you also have Titanic dataset right here. All right, you can download the CSV file. Okay, you can download it from here as well. Okay, right, so the data files are available. You can say download all. You can sign in with Google, and the best dataset is also available at GitHub. You can take it directly from GitHub. Now we have downloaded the RAR file. And the file contains many different things, okay? And the best thing is Titanic.csv file. You can download directly from GitHub, so I'll keep the link in the description section and also in the comment section so that you can download and do data analytics directly from this set. And the second thing, that we will be making a sketch for you, all right? So let me write it down here. And before I start, I just heard of a problem that you guys are facing regarding the LOC function, right? So I'll just say file new. So I'll say new Python 3, and I'm going to save this as Titanic class 1, right? So, and the second problem that you guys were facing was as that of LOC function. Now if I do this, right, so my weather data is now it's as that of the previous class. It's not a new class. It's not as that of Titanic data set analysis. So, right. And now if I do, you were doing this. So I say df is equal to, let me import it first, right? Let us say import pandas as PD. After importing pandas, I will say df is equal to PD dot data frame as that of the weather data, right? And I can print the data frame right here. So here we go. And now what you guys were trying to do, you were doing df.loc and you were passing the date. All right. But now if you see here, what you find, you will get this error, and that's what you were asking for. You are going to get this error only because the index is not set to the day, right? Your index is 0, 1, 2. You can do this df.locate 0, and here you are going to get. So LOC function works only on the index, right? So you have to remember, yes, in order to make day as index, right? That's what we did last time. Perhaps you do not remember, or you do not watch your classes regularly, and you do not watch them carefully. Before running df.loc over date, I said let us get df.index. Okay, let's say df.index. And now you can see the index starts from 0 and stops at 6. Yeah, it's from 0 to 5, and basically it's total 6. Okay, and now if I do this, I will say df dot. Now I have to change the index. I will say set underscore index, and I am going to set day as an index, right? Then and only then you are going to fire the function LOC. Now you can see the index is day. After that you can do that df.loc. LOC is basically meant for the index only. Alright, so now you can see the index. df.loc. We set the index to date, and let me have this here 1/1/2019. So I'm still not having it. Yeah, I have to keep in place is equal to true, because set index also returns a new data set or a new data frame. Set index function returns a new data frame. So I'll say in place is equal to true, so that it replaces the old data frame. So I'll just do it again here. Import pandas df.index, in place is equal to true, and now I can run this locate LOC function. So if I say df, yeah, now we can see this here, and I can run df.loc and target the array and type anything that you want to run LOC on. Now you can get on that day, on this day, temperature was 32, right? And wind speed was 6, and it was a rain at that time, right? So this is how you run. And let us, I suppose this is done, right? So you all now remember this. How do you run LOC? Right, you can make day as an index. If you go to the previous lecture now and see that before doing and before running LOC function, I changed the index, right? And then I ran this function, right? So today's topic is not this. Today's topic is going to be a bit different. So I will just delete it. Right, it was just to make sure that you don't get any errors. Yeah, if you are getting errors, please report to me. Only when you report will I be able to solve all the problems, and you'll also be able to learn in a more better way. And those who are not getting errors, please try different things, because errors basically make you professionals. If you're not getting one, try and do many experiments. You're not going to learn while watching video. Watching video is only going to show you a path, and it's you who will work on and walk on that path and find thorns and flowers and collect both collectively and work on thorns, right? So you have to experiment. For example, if I show you 1 + 1 is equal to 2. So you have to do your research and development and tell me, hey sir, right, if 1 plus 1 is equivalent to 2, I'll say 3 minus 1 is also equivalent to 2. I call this as experiment, and this I call this as class. So unless you're not doing this, you're not going to become professional. So let me start today's topic of data analytics, right, using the Titanic data set. I have just downloaded and I have imported. No, I have not imported. So I'll say I import pandas as PD, right? And the second thing that I'll be doing today is I'll say import, right? So I'll say import numpy as np, right? And the third thing that I'll be doing is I'll be using math function here. So I'll say import math. So this is the beginning of I just show you to create that interest in you. Unless you see exciting things these days, you're not getting any interest. So to generate that interest, I try my best and I try my level best so that you guys work hard, right? And that's why it may include some machine learning techniques. Let's say about 20% of machine learning techniques will also be used, right? So you need to be completely attentive, and you need to be completely sure about what you are doing, and do not only watch. Why do I make files for you? I make files so that you watch, understand, and then download the file and start practicing using the file. So when you see the file and start practicing, you become much familiar about that. You get errors, you have yourself to correct those errors, right? The more errors you correct and debug, the more professional you become. All right, so you have to remember all these things, right? And now, what is numpy, right? So I have included a library, numpy, right? So I'll document this in the file, right? So that you don't forget it, because you are in habit of forgetting everything, right? And let's get started. So the first thing that I'll do today is import the file. So it is an XLS file. So I'll say import, or let us say make a data frame directly. I'll say df is equivalent to pd dot read underscore Excel. So today we are going to read Excel. So that is e column double slash my files Titanic dot XLS, and the spreadsheet is going to be, because we have to mention the name of the spreadsheet here. Okay, so if I go to Titanic, I just copied it, right? So if I go to Titanic, it's a big file. Okay, so the spreadsheet name is Titanic 3. So the spreadsheet name is Titanic 3. So I will mention it here. So Titanic 3. Titanic 3 is the spreadsheet name. So I'll import it. No, I have an error. It's a real access. It's a read access. Alright, so now I can print df.head. df.head is used to print only 5 values. And now let's take a look at all the values. We have passenger class, right? And we have the number of people who have survived. We have name, we have sex, female, male, we have age, we have SIB, SP, means if the number of siblings the person had with himself. And we have many different things: ticket, fare, cabin, embarked, boat. I'll tell you about all one by one, right? Okay. So that's it. I know that we have some indexes that we have to get rid of and do much of data wrangling also, right? So let's get started. So let me put head 2 only, so that we make a file also here. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to do is see the range. What is the index range? So total in the data file, right? So let's assume that the total number of passengers in the ship were 1309. We had 1309 passengers in the ship, right? Fine. Okay. So now if you are aware about length function, I'll show you. If I say s is equivalent to hello, how many letters does s have? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, right? So we can print, I can say print str, right, length of the string s. So you can see 5 is the length, right? 1 2 3 4 5. It's not like it's count, right? So the total count is 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so that's also done. So please remember this. All right, so let's carry on with another thing. So if I say print, you're all aware of print in Python. So I will say number of passengers in the ship, right, or in the ship where str, and I need to have str length of df dot index, right? So you can also do that. The number of passengers in the ship were 1309, right? So another way to see the total number of columns, right, total number of rows rather than columns, so it's not columns. So I can say total number of rows in the data frame, total passengers, or we can say total number of rows in the data frame. And for that I can run another function. I've already shown you df.shape starting with 0, right? So total number of rows in the data frame 1309, right? So df.index is also there, and you can say total number of columns. Let's say print total number of columns in the data frame. The total number of columns in the data frame are, and I can do the length of, so I can do the length of df dot, I can call columns, columns, directly. So total number of columns in the data frame are 14. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 and 14, right? So we are doing this, maybe you may have 400 columns, so you're not going to count them 1 2 3 4, right? So you need to know function for each and everything. And if you want to print the number of columns you're not aware of, so you can say df.columns, df.columns, and you can get df.columns, p, class, wide name, sex, and each and everything that the data set has, right? Okay, so let us say I will have to apply, if you guys are aware of lambda functions, if you are not, that instead of loops we have, right, you can see after Java, you can see Java 7, and in Java 8 we were having no lambda expressions before them, and now Java 8 has introduced lambda expressions, which will ease our journey through the data analytics instead of using loops, because we had to use loops instead of lambda expression. Now we are having lambda expressions that is going to ease the journey through, right? So we'll not be using loops and we'll be using lambda expressions here. Like for example, I want to get the number of people who survived in the data or in the Titanic ship. So let me show you again. If you want to document anything, you can hit / and say I want to get a bool series representing, right, which row satisfies the condition, right, which row satisfies the condition that is true, right, for which row satisfies the condition that it's true for. And another things I can hit hash here, so I can say for, we can say for the row in which the value of survived column is true or 1, right? Okay, and the third is, always remember this, x is equal to 0. If I say x is equal to 0, means along the column, and axis is equivalent to 1 means work along the row. So you'll get this as we continue the class, but always remember that we have to first get a boolean series which satisfies the condition that is true, right? Or you have to see true on x is 0 means if I say x is 0, it is we're talking of column. If I say x is 1, I'm talking of a row. So x is 0 means columns and x is 1 means rows, right? So now for example, if I do something like this here, so I will say series object. So I'm going to make a new object. Series object is equal to data frame dot apply. So now I will apply lambda expression. How do you apply lambda? Lambda. So I'll write lambda and x will take, right, true. Please transfer true to x. What is the condition? If, I repeat, if. Let me see the column name. If survived, you can see survived basically can be 1. That means survived 1 means the person has survived. 0 means the person has not survived. So I say x is going to be true only if the number of if the survived column is equivalent to 1, and if it is not 1, right, we are going to take it as false. So now what are you going to mark this lambda expression on? True on which axis? Axis 0 means columns. No, we don't have to check columns, we have to check rows, means axis 1. So that's why I give axis. Axis is equal to 1. I repeat, lambda x will be true. It will loop through all the data set containing 1309 values, right? X will be true only if survived is equal to 1. So is equal to is not an assignment operator but a comparison operator, else it will be false, right? So do this on x is 1. Apply the lambda expression on x is 1 means rows of the data frame, right? So we have to understand this. So we are applying, data frame is already there, so we're applying this lambda expression on the data frame, and data frame already has data and the data goes to the series object. So I'll execute it and we get an error, and we'll have to see the error. Okay, let me see this again. Lambda, okay, x, give small, x is going to be true if survived is equal to 1, and else it is going to be false is capital F. If true has capital T and false also has capital, and apply it on x is 1. I repeat, yeah. Now you can see the series object. So if I print the series object, you can see that you are getting false, and you are getting true, right? We cannot see true here, so let me do more data analytics here. So series object dot head. Okay, so I'll say 4 are getting false. So now let me do okay, let me show you one more thing that you can do this using. Okay, let me print it. So I will say print number of survived people on the ship, right? So how many people survived in the ship is going to be length of the series object, right? Count the length of the series object where series object is equal to 2. So I'm only counting the length where series object is equal to true on the index, right? So if I do, let me show you this first. If I do, for example, series object dot length, right? So, okay, what happened? No, we cannot do the series object dot length. We can do index. Okay, So it starts from 0 and 39. Now it contains both. It contains true as well. It contains false. So what we have done, if it is 1, make it true. If it is, we can say if it is 1, make it true, else make it false. Right? And all the data will be transferred. All the data, only zeros and ones will be transferred to series object. Means take out from the data frame using lambda expressions only one column, which is survived. Right, and take, if it is 1, keep the column as true, and if it is 0, keep the column as false, and apply the rule over the rows, not the columns, because axis is 1. And you can see the index as all. Now what I do the indexing same, but I say out of the index, right? Out of the index, take out only out of the series objects true columns. And do you want all columns? No, I want only the length of all the columns. So number of people survived in the on the ship, 0. So we don't have anyone surviving in the ship, right? So we have made any mistake. So let me see it again. A number of people survived in the ship are, let me just document it, length of our new series object. So let me have this right here. Length of new series object, right, where series object is equivalent to true, and apply the index as well. So it's still getting 0. That means we have problem here. Now let me see this again. df dot apply lambda expression x true, right, only if, okay, I did not mention if x. Now what we have done here, x will be true only if x is going to be, it's a range variable, so it's nothing. It's called as range variable. You're declaring it now. Lambda x, right? What is x going to be? Either true or false. True if the lambda x and the column that is survived is equivalent to 1, else it's going to be false, right? And follow the rule over the x is 1. So I'll just do this, and now I get true and false both, and I run it. So number of people survived in the ship are 500. 500 people survived in Titanic ship. Let me say the people who do not survive or did not survive. The number of people, we can say, not survived people in the ship, and I'll say where series object is equal to false, give me the length. That means 809 plus 500 is equivalent to how much? It is going to be 1309. Okay, fine. So number of people who could not survive is 809, and the number of people who survived are 500. As simple as anything, right? So let me use this again here. Analyzing the data. So let's use data analytics and some Seaborn technique. So I'll import Seaborn for visualization of data as SB. It's a data visualization library, CBOR. I don't know, I make a lot of spelling mistakes these days. Okay, I imported Seaborn as SB. Alright, so let me document it. So I'll say analyzing the data. So you can go to I can say right here, okay, let me say view toggle header. So I will go to view toggle toolbar. Yeah, I'll go to the toolbar right here, and I say it's not code, it is going to be a markdown. Now you can see it is now a markdown. I'll hit enter, right? So now you can see control enter, it is the markdown. So from here we will be starting analyzing the data. Now we have already imported Seaborn. Seaborn is a data visualization library. So I'll write it down here for you guys. I still have to write as that of numpy. So I will say hash. Hash is just to document. Seaborn is pandas, or we can say is library or is a data, or we can say it's not only data visualization. What you can write? Okay, let me basically, I just forgot the name. Data visualization is also good. And we have some other techniques, known as data analytics. Let's write it down. Data visualizations library. Seaborn is a data visualizations library meant for Python. Right? Not only data visualization, it supports few data analytic techniques as well. But we have to get an idea of what we are doing. Okay, let me show you practically what Seaborn does. For example, if I want a plot, so I'll say SP Seaborn, because Seaborn has been imported as SB, as Pandas was imported as PD. Seaborn.count, I'll say seaborn.count plot, right? So count the plot of a plot has two different things, x-axis and y-axis. If I show you plot, so this is going to be your y-axis and this is going to be your x-axis. So on this plot, show me the number of people dead and show me the number of people survived, right? Are you trying to get right? So this is x-axis. I will repeat, this is x-axis and this is y-axis, right? So let me go ahead and I say x is equal to survived and y, x is equal to survived and y is basically going to be not survived. So let's say data kahan se aayega? Data is going to come from the data frame, which is df. Take data from the data frame df and count a plot. Now you can see the plot here, the people who have survived, or you can say, I don't know whether this is working. I tried it previously. Not survived. Right, it's going to show me an error. It does not take y, it takes only 1. So we know that the second is going to be the count of that. So we cannot write, it's basically the count, right? So survived and not survived. Okay, now you can clearly see on the x-axis that people who have not survived, you can see 0 is here, 0 the people who have survived and 1 the people who have survived. Sorry, 0 the people who have not survived, because 0 is false and 1 is true. 1 the people who have survived. And you can see almost 800 people have not survived and almost 500 people have survived. As we have already seen, 500 people have survived in the ship and 809 people have not survived in the ship. So that's what the plot suggests, right? Okay, now let me show you some more techniques. So for example, I will say Titanic, or we can say GENDER, gender is equal to df.apply. I'll use df.apply, apply lambda expressions. Lambda x is going to take, let us say x is 1 only if x, do we have sex column? Yeah, we have sex. Okay, let's see. If sex is equal to male, else for it is going to be 0. So if it is female, or we can say true or 1 or true or false, so it means one of the same thing, 0 and 1. So else it's going to be 0, right? So which axis? Axis is equal to 1. We are applying it in on the rows, not the columns. If I say gender, and let us print the gender dot head and print only 2. Okay, we have the error. So let me print gender Yeah, we are getting it, right? 0 and 1. So no problem. So let us not say I want to print the head. Let's say gender dot index. Yeah, all 1309. Okay, no problem. So please tell me now, because I have my gender already has the sex of people who have survived as 1 and who have not survived as 0. So we will be printing that. So I will say print the number of people, okay, survived in the ship are, right. So we can count. Similarly, the length of gender, I require the length of gender where, right, gender is equal to the number of females survived in the ship where gender is equal to 0. Now because I know that it has if sex is male, it has 1. If not, then it has 0. So 0 means females, right? So I'll say give me the length of this gender, which is 1309, but only out of 1309 give me the gender 0. That means this is going to return the index. So I'll have to still apply index of all those who have survived are females, right? So let me see an error. Give me the length of gender. Okay, not an assignment operator, but a comparison operator. So the number of females survived in the ship are 446. So now can you do gender discrepancy here? Let's say number of males survived in the ship, gender is equal to okay, we can clearly see, right? You can clearly see the number of people who have survived in the ship are males. So males are surviving more than females. Can I draw a count plot of that? Right, so I can say, let us draw a plot of the same. Let's say SB Seaborn dot count plot. So I have to draw, we have many plots, I'll show you. X is equivalent to, let's say about X is basically going to be the number, as you are aware of. So Y is going to be the number, as you are aware of. So X survived, and data is equivalent to, okay, let's take it from gender. Okay, we have an error. So males and females. Okay, so our males and females. So data is equivalent to, so let me give df on survived. No, we still have an error. sp dot count plot x is equivalent to sex, and data is equivalent to df, right? Okay, now we can see males and females, but we have to get data from let's say about, I have to get data from the GENDER. So basically gender, what does gender have? So let's see GENDER. Gender has 0 and 1s, right? So gender only has the serial number, right? It does not have any column name, right? So we'll not be able to fetch it as that of the gender. Let me try some more techniques to fetch this out, because I'll have to do many different things. Right, okay, let us see. Alright, let me show you a few more techniques, because we'll have to apply a different technique here. Give me the length of data frame, right? The length of data frame where df, because it is a multi-dimensional array that we'll have to target, sex is equivalent to male. So we can do this as well. 843 males, and we can do that of females as well, right? So we can do this as that of females. And the second thing that we can do, length of easy way, I'm showing you easy way, length of data frame, where data frame, the column name sex is equivalent to true. So we can do, okay, not true, but we can say number of survived. Number of survived is equivalent to true. So give me the length of data frame, where in data frame survived s is small is equivalent to true. 500 people have survived. So this is an easy way, or we can say male survivors is equivalent to length of the data frame. Alright, multi-dimensional array is there, so we'll have to apply df, which is the data frame, and the sex, right, and the sex is equivalent to df dot sex is equivalent to, let me see this, is equivalent to male. Okay, we're getting it. No, we're not getting it. Length of df, where df and sex is equivalent to male. Okay, so is equal to male. Let me mix another statement, and so we can say df survived, right, both the queries is equivalent to true. So this is also possible, and we have to close it down here because it's a multi-dimensional array. Yeah, okay, let me do it again, so because I don't know what went wrong. So male survivors will take length of the entire data frame, wherein we have to run two queries inside the data frame, right? So the first query is going to be inside the data frame. So the first query is going to be, right, so I will say data frame, right, and I will say data frame, okay, length of data frame, and just a moment, I still have some confusion here. So give me the length of data frame, where data frame and the column name 6, right, and I'll target this is equivalent to male. And second thing, the data frame, and I'll say survived, survived, right, is equivalent to true, right? So the is equivalent to true, and I close it down. So let me see, still have an error. So okay, let me try again. Length of, because we are trying to run two statements, we're getting confused with multi-dimensional array. So length of data frame is the first option. Start the array. Okay, it gets closed automatically. That's the problem. I try and close it 2 times. Okay, so give me the length of data frame, where, okay, this is also getting closed automatically, where data frame and which is 6 is equivalent to male, and I close it down, and the second statement starts, and the second statement starts df. One, it is male. Second, the survived, that means I want to get a list of survived males. So and the number of survived people is equivalent to true. So that is the second option, and I will try and close the multi-dimensional array and the main. Yeah, we still have an error here, right? So let me figure it out. Why isn't, okay, survived still has capital S, whereas it should, okay, yeah, that is the problem. We are giving capital S. Okay, so now we have male survivors. I repeat what we did here: target the data frame, right, and do the first copy. That is, I want to get all who are male, right? In the data set, sex male, and mix another query, and those males should be having the second property, which is survived, as true, right? So now let me just print. Okay, we are getting 161. So I can say print, right, number of male survivors, right? So I can print the number of male survivors is equivalent to the second parameter, male survivors. So you can see number of male survivors. So I can do the same again with female. So number of, these are different ways of fetching data, because you never know which one is required, right, at which place. So you need to understand everything so that we handle those data exploration techniques in a much better way. So I will also say I need to get female survivors as well. Instead of male survivors, I will say female survivors, and here I'll replace the sex as that of female. Now you can see male survivors and female survived. So 330. So you can clearly see that the number of people who survived, out of all who have survived, 161 are males and 339 are females. That may be because they allowed females to get into boats earlier, and they allowed children and females. All the students have seen the movie Titanic. And it's because of that, maybe, that all the females were first initially allowed to get into boats and save their lives, and males were not allowed. Hence, you can see number of females surviving are more than males surviving in the Titanic ship. Okay, I did not show you the plot, plot sb.plot function earlier. So let's again try to do it. cbond.count plot x is equivalent to survived, and we don't apply y, we applied hue. Let's say hue is equivalent to 6, and data is equivalent to let's say about the data frame. What is hue is equivalent to 6? I want to target the data frame only 6 and only survived. Now you can clearly see. Now the hue is on sex, blue is female, and orange is male. Now you can clearly see that, the people who have survived are quite less than the people, or females survived more than males. And you can see this is dying, 0 means survived. More females have survived than males. You can see the huge gap here. Males orange, dying, that means 0, could not survive, they are dying more. I repeat, 0 means in the data set. If I go and read the data set back, so survived 1 means yeah, he has survived, and 0 means he has not survived. Okay, so 0 here means males are dying more and females are dying less. You can clearly see the difference here. And survived me, you can see that females are surviving more and males are not surviving. So this is the comparison between the males who have died and the people, males and females comparison of died and not died, survived or could not survive, is a much better word that we can use. So let me draw another count plot. And let us keep x as survived, and let us give hue. I want to get all the people who have survived in the P class in the data set. So I'll say data is going to come from the data frame. Now what is P class? P class is the passenger class, maybe first class, second class, executive class. You have executive class, you have economy class. Let's say where are people more dying? Okay, now you can see blue is first class, which is executive class. Second is maybe second class, and third is economy class. Now see, people survived more. And now you can see third class, I mean economy class, people have died more. That is why this carnage. You can see that the people in the economy class are dying more in Titanic, and second class and less in second class, right? And you can see the people who have survived are more people survived, in the first class, or maybe in the business class. We have business class people surviving more, and poor are dying here also. Poor are dying everywhere, but here in Titanic, you can see that they you can clearly see, you can see that first class, in the business class, people are surviving more, and you can clearly see second class and third class here. So zero means did not survive. Who did not survive? Clearly see that the people who were in economy class did not survive, right? Right, so they are more dying, and then in other classes. So let me see some more analytics. Let us do some more analytics, using Seaborn. Seaborn is a fun. You can see that we are doing many different things using Seaborn. It is basically fun. Now we will be using NumPy. So let me say I want to plot age. I want to see the age of the people, right, traveling. So I will call the plot and right, histogram. Okay, now can you see right here? You can see about 50 infants, right? And these are 10-year-old, 20-year-old. You can see adults are more, right? And the people, as long as age analytics is concerned, from, let's say, about from 18 to 30, we are having people between the age of 18 to 30 traveling more in Titanic than in, we had 80-year-olds also, maybe 1 2 to 370, and 60 is there, 50 is there, 40 is there, 30, and you can see 18 to 30 more people traveling in. That means we had maximum amount of people who were inside a Titanic ship, whereas that of the young generation, they were teenagers. Teenagers were more, in people from 20 to 30 are from young generation. That means young people also died. So let me do another count plot. So I'll say SB dot count plot. Let me take x-axis. Let us take on x-axis again passenger class and hue. Let us take hue this time sex, males and females, right? And let us see data is equal to df. Okay, now we can see here and that males and females. So let us see, first class had more males than females, second class again had more males than females, and economy class had more males than females. All three sections had more males than females. Still we have females more surviving than males. So it is in question mark. I'm asking you this question. Please post your answer in the comment section. Why are we having females, the number of females who survived more than number of males, right? Why is the number of people who have survived, or we can say why are males dying more and females less, or why have females survived more in Titanic ship? Do not skip the answer. Please answer in the comment section. All right, so I just require an histogram. I'll say draw a plot of fair, because we still have fair. Yeah, fair is also there. Okay, draw a plot of fair, plot it on hist, right, and show me the fair. Okay, now you can see that okay, let me have it more, let me expand it. So let me have more bins. Okay, let me have it, let me have the figure size. Okay, so we had 20, and let us say figure size is equal to 10, 5. So it's just to increase the size of figure. Why have we fig size? Okay, it's size. It's size. SIZE. All right. So now you can see the fare. 800. I don't know, dollars, right? And you can see the frequency at basically fare frequency, right? So what is in the fare? So let us see fare, right? 225 first class, and right, 151 it is the fare. So you can clearly see the difference. Maybe the economy class had some little fare, right, and business class had more fare. So who knows what the fare was? I have no idea about it. So let me check df.info. This is the main function for data scientists, right? That shows every single thing that is required. Now you can see this here clearly. Okay, and this is the all information. This is all of the information that is required for you, right? You may require it for data analytics, right? So, but yeah, we'll not be able to explain each and everything about this here. So it may require some 4 or 5 classes. Okay, let us see what else can we do here. So I can say sb.count plot. Let us say x is equal to siblings. What was sibling column? SIBSP. Okay, sibling column is SIBSP. So count the plot, whereas x-axis is SIBSP and data is equal to DF. All right, so you can see, right, there are people, you can see siblings, right? There were almost 800 people in the ship. Out of that, you can see many had siblings. Okay, right, and you can see it here. For example, the first one, this name Miss Elizabeth Walton, didn't have any sibling, right? Did not have any sibling in the ship, and Master Hudson had one siblings in the ship, right? So this is actually in the plot, right? So people who had one, and there were two who had 2 siblings, and 3, 4, 8 siblings also traveling in the Titanic ship. So that is again a great question to be asked. Now we can do many different things here, but what we need to do is what we need to understand that there are many columns. If I show you df, okay, let me go to next line. If I show you df dot head, right, and if I just execute it and say 200, 2200 is not there, so I'll say 200. Okay, now we can see there are NaN values here, right? You can see, or I'll show you, let me show you this way. Okay, let me show you some other way, using some other way, right? And let me show you on SP, now called seaborn.heatmap. So this time I'll be calling heatmap, which makes it easy for analytics, right? I want to get out of the data frame is null. All the null columns, please give me, right? And let me execute it. Yeah, this is, you can see heat map. So age is kind of messed up here. We cannot do analytics on age. It's going to show us error, not mean values. The values that we are going to get are not true here. So cabin is completely messed up, and you can see body. Oh my god! So this is a messy data, right? So I want this black, completely black. So this is where we have to apply data munging and data cleaning technique. So the next class, before we move to the COVID-19 analytics, I'll progress with that. I still have to do much homework, or my homework. All right. So before I proceed with that, so you have to do practice here, practice a lot, and I shall be sharing two different things. Titanic URL where you can download it from. You can still Google it, but yeah, I'll still post so that it's easy for you. In the comment section, find two files, and also in the description you can find two files. One is the sketch of today's class, and second is the Titanic dataset CSV file. Right, till then, take care of yourself. Bye bye, and work hard, practice, and see you in the next class. Bye bye.